This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Louie Tee, host of the Louie Tee Network, and this is One Burning Question, a series that will take a look at all 32 teams in the National Football League and pose a question. Some teams will have micro questions where we look at the team in its current state and talk about what could potentially happen for them in this season, and some will take a macro approach where we kind of open up the lens a bit and take a step back and look at it from a wide view look and perspective and talk about where these franchises might be going in the future, not just this season, but moving forward. So I'll take a look at each and every single team, ask a burning question, answer that question, and move on to the next team. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy One Burning Question. Welcome to this In the Lab Room exclusive series, One Burning Question. I, of course, as always, am your host, Louie Tee. Thank you for joining me on this program. Today we'll be talking about the Chicago Bears. The Bears. And the prospects of this franchise moving forward, currently at 5-8 in the 2015 NFL season. They're pretty much out of playoff contention in the NFC, but then again, who thought this team was going to qualify for the playoffs this season? Anyhow, the fact that we even had the playoff discussion after 10, 11, 12 weeks of football with this team speaks volumes as to how well this team performed in the 2015 season. And the reason they performed well enough for us to even have that discussion was because of the coaching staff. And I thought this organization as a whole hit a home run last offseason when they hired their new general manager, Ryan Pace, new head coach, John Fox, offensive coordinator, Adam Gase, and defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, all in one swoop. And all of them have done a tremendous job bringing in talent into this organization and coaching it up, more importantly, and getting the most out of this team. So now let's ask the one burning question for the Chicago Bears football team and organization moving forward. Can the Bears get the player talent to match that of the coaching staff? I looked at this Bears roster before the season started. I watched a few of their preseason games, and I was floored by what I saw from this team. I saw Jay Cutler looking smooth, getting in and out of the huddle. They were mixing up tempos, and that game against the Colts in the preseason, I walked away from that very impressed. Cutler was like 7 of 8, took the team right down the field. Now, they didn't get in the end zone, had to settle for a field goal, and I thought that would be a problem because Alshon Jeffrey was injured at the time, and we knew Kevin White was going to be out for an extended period of time. Didn't know at the time that he would not play a snap this season, but I said, man, they're missing a lot of weapons. That's going to hurt them, but the fact that they were able to move the football up and down the field with the lack of weapons spoke volumes to where they were as a football team. I said, wow, that was pretty impressive. And I looked at the talent or lack thereof on this team on both sides of the football. I said, this is a bad football team. There's no way this Bears team is winning more than 4 games this season, and they could arguably be the worst team in the league. And it started out like that at 0-3. They get blown out in Seattle, lose 26-0. Cutler's hurt, doesn't play in that game, and you're saying to yourself, they are without a doubt the worst team in the league. And then after that, they rally, they go on the road, they beat Kansas City in an improbable win, and they start winning games and being competitive the rest of the way. And they were even competitive early in that 0-3 start. They lose to Green Bay at home in opening week of the season, but it was a very competitive loss. And you said to yourself, wow, this isn't that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And a lot of the credit needs to be given to this coaching staff. You look at this roster, and a lot of these no-name guys and a lot of these young football players that haven't experienced anything in this league, and yet Vic Fangio has gotten his defense to remain competitive week in and week out, go on the road and win in some tough environments. Same with this offense. Adam Gase has remade Jay Cutler and made him into a viable threat at the quarterback position in this league. He's starting to get Jay Cutler's talents to match his abilities on the field. And so this coaching staff must be giving credit for where this team is right now. But that coaching staff can only do so much with the limited amount of talent that they have on the field. So the question that I've asked is that, can you get this player talent to match what you have in the coaching staff right now? Because I think you look at this Chicago Bears team and you're going to get Kevin White back, and you're hoping that this guy is what he was at West Virginia. And if he is, and Alshon Jeffrey comes back and he's healthy, and you get those guys to play alongside each other, you've got something right there. You look at Martellus Bennett at the tight end position, and now you see what Zach Miller's doing at the tight end position, and you feel good about what you have there at the skill positions. Then you look at Jeremy Langford, and you still got Matt Forte chugging along, and you like Kadeem Carey. So you've got some stuff on the offensive side of football. You had an experiment with Long at tackle, and that's kind of going a lot better than you thought it was. And so you're filling out this offensive side of the football, but the defensive side, you still got questions. Who's going to get consistent pressure on the quarterback for you? What about your cornerback position? You like Kyle Fuller. Who's going to play opposite of him? You like Adrian Amos. I know I do, but you still need some help on the defensive side. And then that linebacker, Shea McClellan has filled in nice at middle linebacker, but you still got some holes on this defense. So can you get these players either coached up? Can these young guys develop the way, because Eddie Goldman is playing outstanding this season, but there's really nobody you worry about along that defensive line. Can you start getting some of these younger guys to play better football, or can you go out and get more talented football players to match the level of coaching? Because this team isn't that far off with the coaching staff, and we don't know. And this is the thing, you want to take advantage of these coaches because they're so good. You don't know how long you're going to have them in Chicago. John Fox has a track record that precedes him. Wherever he goes, winning follows. Adam Gase, he's going to get a job eventually, because a lot of people tried to discredit what he had done in Denver because he had Peyton Manning. Oh, it's easy to say, oh, he had Peyton Manning. He's not that good of a play caller. He's not that good of an offensive mind. Well, look what he's done with Jay Cutler. Now you can't question whether this guy has it. Now it's just a matter of him getting an opportunity to be the head man, and at some point that's going to happen. Same with Vic Fangio. You said, okay, he's got a lot of talented football players in San Francisco. No way is this guy as good as advertised in order to get a head coaching job. Well, he goes to Chicago with a bunch of no names and a few veterans mixed in. They get rid of Jared Allen. They start over from scratch, and yet this team is in just about every single ball game. Now, do they win every game? No, but they're in the ball game nonetheless, and it's because of this coaching staff. And Vic Fangio has done a phenomenal job on the defensive side of the football with that team and that ragtag group of guys. And so you look at what they've done in Chicago, and you say to yourself, if they get more talented football players in there, why can't this team take a quantum leap next season and start playing some top-notch football and throw their hat in the discussion of the NFC North? It's not far-fetched, folks. And that's why this question is so important. I think this is going to be a big offseason for Ryan Pace, your general manager. I'll read it once more. Can the Bears get the player talent to match that of the coaching staff? This is a talented staff that has done a remarkable job with less than ideal parts, gotten this team in a position to where they could compete and potentially make the postseason. That's done now, but the fact that we even had that discussion this season means that those coaches have overachieved with the amount of talent that the Bears have on that football team as currently constructed. So, can they get the players into this locker room that match the talent of the coaching staff? If they come close, this is going to be a dangerous Bears team moving forward. That's the one burning question for the Chicago Bears. The Bears will see if they're able to do that or not. I am Louie Tee. See you next time.